right, good evening. Welcome into a late edition of a Facebook Live. It is 11:31 in the evening. Meteorologist Zach Gilday here. We just finished up the newscast and all the daily duties, and we have more storms in the forecast. So I see all the people's comments coming in. Appreciate all of them. I do want to show you the radar right now. So it's looking pretty quiet across northwest Arkansas. Maybe some light rain moving into the Benton, Washington County area. But look at what's going on to our southwest. We are seeing some widespread heavy rain, some flooding concerns. Let me just pause it right there. Some really heavy rain about to move into Sequoia, LaFleur County, the Fort Smith area, and we do not need the rain. So I did launch this Facebook Live to give you an update on what we can expect tonight into Monday morning because it could be pretty active. And the heavy rain, could lead to some flooding concerns for us. So I do want to zoom in on those storms about to make their way in. We can see the LaFleur County area, some heavy rain. These storms are moving really slow, and they're kind of training over the same area. So that's why the flood threat could be a concern. And the rain rates are pretty staggering with this little line coming in here. I can show you what they are. And you can see already a flash flood warning to our west. And I wouldn't be surprised if overnight, if we got some of these flash flood warnings, and we can see, let's just see how many inches per hour. So 2.21 inches per hour, that's enough to cause flooding. And we haven't seen any observed flooding yet. Earlier during the afternoon, we had some flash flood warnings, radar indicated, but tonight we might see some observed flooding. And that is what we do not want to see because we have some issues here going on. And I do want to give you a quick update here before I go into the questions, but we have a flood watch from right now through Monday, 7 in the evening. So tomorrow, I do think they will likely extend that because I think we could be seeing some more rain on your Tuesday. Now, you see that little down by Ardmore below the box? That is a observed flash flood warning. So if we get that is not going to be a good deal. Zooming in on the Fort Smith area, that's a flood warning for the Arkansas River. And that will take effect tomorrow going through around Tuesday, 11:30. Those numbers will likely change. But look how many people are affected by this warning. Over 100,000. And the Arkansas River doesn't get flooding all that often. So that's a lot of people. And minor flooding is forecast. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Further south, the Illinois River the Podo River, a lot of areas here near Panama, it is under a flood warning. Moderate flooding is forecast. Up north a little bit, we are in Adair County, portions of Delaware County, the Illinois River near Watts, minor flooding is forecast, and Illinois River at Chewy is forecasting some flooding as well. So we're already seeing flood warnings for the rivers, but we could be seeing some counties under the flood warnings. Hopefully not, but that could be a possibility. Here are the precipitation timing graphics here. So northwest Arkansas, chances are going to be going up here pretty soon. And on your Memorial Day, we can't quite take out chances for rain. Notice how Monday afternoon, 30-40% chance for showers and storms. I think tomorrow cloud cover should win out, and I don't think it's going to be a very nice day. But little breaks in the action. Shouldn't be a washout. Tomorrow morning looks to be a washout. Tuesday, another chance for maybe some rain. River Valley, pretty much same deal. The rain should be entering the area a little bit earlier in the evening. Here's a Rogers view looking north. Looks quiet from that angle. Temperatures are in the mid-60s, but here is a Posey Mountain view. Looking west, you might be able to see some lightning from that angle. And the clouds are looking a little bit lower. Those are the city lights of Springdale, by the way. Here are the temperatures, mid to upper 60s. Here's a view. Now, here's where we will probably see some lightning pretty soon. These storms are a little bit far away from Dripping Springs. Dripping Springs, remember, is north of Fort Smith. And there's some lightning. Let me get me off the screen. So we're looking southwest, and these storms are slowly but surely making their way into the coverage area, producing some widespread heavy rain, and that could fuel the potential for our flooding. Mid to upper 60s, dew points are in the lower to mid 60s. The true moisture is further south, south of that boundary. And south of that boundary, look at all those storms. Still severe in Alabama, Mississippi. For us, that boundary, I think it will stay mainly south of us tonight. And because of that, I'm not crazy worried about severe weather for the overnight hours, but I am worried about the flooding. And we can already see flood warnings just off to our west. Storm fuel, the fuel for severe weather isn't really there. It will try and return along with the wind shear as that low level jet kicks in, as it always does overnight. But tonight's severe weather chances are less than what we saw last night, especially in northwest Arkansas. Here is a computer model. Let me go back in time a little bit. So this isn't really doing the best of jobs with what's actually happening. So that's what the model shows, and let's look at what's actually going on. A lot more widespread, but those have most of the heavy rain dipping southward, and I hope that happens because I don't want to have to worry about flooding tonight. But the rain builds back in tomorrow morning. And by daybreak, the rain looks widespread across pretty much the whole forecast area. A little break in the action tomorrow afternoon. Here's the future track. So, chances for rain and storms become widespread tonight, especially heading into Monday morning. Good thing tomorrow is Memorial Day. Not many people should be out on the roads first thing, but if you are, plan for some potential flooding issues and some heavier rain. That to me doesn't look crazy severe. There could be a few stronger storms in there, but that looks mainly like a flood threat. Excessive rainfall forecast from now through 7 a.m. Monday. We're being clipped by the moderate 3 out of 4. It's not every day where we see a risk that high. So widespread flash flooding possible in that area. Severe storm threat has gone down, especially in northwest Arkansas, but we still could see a few stronger to maybe severe storms. Breaking them down for you right here. All hazards possible. Tornado threat is the lowest, but it is still non-zero. And even if you're not highlighted in that green shade, you still can't rule out a spin up, especially with the pattern and how active it's been. Monday, 3 o'clock. Tomorrow, it's not a washout tomorrow afternoon, but there still could be a few showers lingering. So I wouldn't cancel your Monday afternoon plans, but keep an eye on the radar. And if there's flooding, uh, you don't want to be out in that. So keep an eye on all the very latest. And I will show you ways to receive and get warnings as I close out this live stream. But you saw the forecast tomorrow night. The rain could miss us to our south. It's just a model. I wouldn't be surprised if we had another round of rain and storms tomorrow night into Tuesday. And then maybe even another round Tuesday afternoon. The models have been pretty consistent on showing some more rain and storms Tuesday during the afternoon. We have a 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather from Monday 7 a.m. through Tuesday 7 a.m. So a little bit less than the past couple days, but still large hail, damaging winds could be a possibility, and the flash flooding will be a concern too. Beyond that, the forecast stays a bit active. We have some more chances for rain and storms, all thanks to that low. You see it churning up in the Midwest that will kind of keep us active and cooler than where we should be for this time of the year. But then some warmer air. Look at that big ridge moving in across the Rocky Mountain West. That will give us some warmer weather. And just in case you missed the news, I do want to show you the 7-day. So tomorrow, Memorial Day looks pretty active. 90% chance for rain and storms, mainly in the morning. And then Tuesday could see a few rounds of showers and storms. The chance is not nearly as high as what we saw this past weekend or on Monday, but still Tuesday could see a few showers and storms. Wednesday looks mainly dry. Thursday, maybe another round. We saw that low across the upper Midwest. Stays active. June 1st is Sunday, believe it or not. Temperatures should be warming up by then. Should be a quiet weekend, still a ways out, but we will have to wait and see. Still tracking the radar for you on this Sunday late evening. And let's see what's going on here. So, Dwayne, we still have the Harrison Gaither Mountain camera down, and I hope we get that up soon because that camera comes in clutch. Northwest Arkansas rain expected as far as severe storm potential pretty low, but I do think that that flooding potential will be on the increase, especially heading into tomorrow morning. Dramatic storm music. Yeah, I thought I would try and impress people tonight after last night's music, which I don't think was a big hit. I do want to show you this camera right here from our Dripping Springs. It is pretty impressive. Stand by for that. We're seeing a lot of lightning. A lot of lightning moving in, a lot of heavy rain. Northwest Arkansas at the moment looks pretty quiet. Let's see if I cover that up. Of course. Move that a little bit up to the north. All right. That's pretty good. So let me point this camera a little bit further west. Probably get some better lightning bolts. You see the towers in the way there, but you get it. You got some lightning and storms. I think these storms are trying to push southward though. Thunder in Heifel, I believe it. Storms are still a ways away. Tornado potential is pretty low tonight. Not really concerned about that. But I am concerned about the flooding. Rogers area, some heavy rain is possible tonight. We have a lot of flood warnings already for some rivers across the area. And well, 7 to 10 inches of rain forecasted in total. We were saying that a couple days ago throughout the whole weekend, and I think we saw up to that. We saw pretty much 2 to 3 inches a day each day, Saturday, Sunday, and I think later on tonight we could be seeing maybe another 2 inches of rain. Springfield area saw that I believe Friday night, and they had some flooding issues. And yeah, some areas have been lucking out. And Bentonville, pretty nice afternoon Saturday. Today was mainly quiet. We had a round of storms in the morning, but then after that, it was looking pretty good. Yes, it is, Brendan. Tomorrow is a 1-year anniversary of the May 26th tornado outbreak, and I was thinking about that earlier. Yeah, it was a year ago today when those storms were moving in. It was about that time, 11:45 right now, and we were tracking those storms. Chief meteorologist Dan Scoff and I, and then the whole weather team got involved later on. That was a bad deal. Not too concerned about severe weather, mainly a flood threat, and River Valley has the best chance for severe storms. Yeah, well, depending on what time you drive back in the morning, that could be an issue. Afternoon, the rain around here should be getting a bit lighter. A lot of lightning from this camera. Yes, turn around, do not drown, especially at night because you really can't tell how deep the water is. Even during the daytime, um, it doesn't take much to get a car going down the road. Let me show you a graphic. Flood safety. Do not attempt to drive through a flooded road. 1 foot of water will float vehicles, so it does not take much. 2 feet of rushing water can carry most vehicles, including big, heavy SUVs. Do not drive around a barricade. They put the barricade there for a reason. Josh Rucker will be in here tomorrow morning to give you all the latest updates on the current rain. And then I'll be back later on during the afternoon, evening. I am ready for the rain to stop too. I think we could get a couple inches of rain. Those rain rates by just southeast of McAllister around 2 inches per hour. How's Rudy looking tonight? Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, Rudy, same deal. Rain tonight. Severe storm potential, not as great as the past couple nights, but it's still there. And I do want to break down the computer models one last time, show you the graph, and then I'll show you the ways to receive alerts. No, not exactly. We could see some hail. A little bit of hail is involved out there to our west, and we could be seeing some issues coming up here with the damaging winds, but not crazy concerned about severe storm potential tonight. But I'll be watching it, and we'll be back on if need be. Springdale area. Yeah, all right. Here is the severe storm risk for tomorrow or for tonight. We've got the slight 2 out of 5. It's been cropped out of a lot of northwest Arkansas, but we could still be seeing severe weather for a good chunk of the area. I think those storms might be on a weakening trend, but still, flooding is going to be the main threat for us tonight. Again, breaking down those hazards, large hail, damaging winds, but the tornado threat is still there. It is low, but we'll be watching it. We showed you the HRRR model. The graph model is a little bit different. Do you want to show you that? Short range. That's some heavy rain. See, that doesn't look good for the flood potential. But by the afternoon, I do think the rain will be moving out. See, here's 1, 2, 3. So if you have backyard barbecue plans tomorrow afternoon, I think there's a good chance of it being dry. Maybe a few showers, but not worried about storms tomorrow afternoon. I think the atmosphere will be sapped with the instability. Flood threat, that is the main concern. Here is the day 1 through the overnight. And here is the day 2, which I haven't been showing. Marginal. Kind of mixed messaging. I do think this is a serious concern for us. But how to receive watches and warnings. Download the app. If you don't have the app, it's really good because we update it every day. We put our numbers in there and we'll give you updates. So when we launch these live streams, we'll give you a little notification, be like live stream, join our coverage now, instant weather alerts, updated severe weather threats, and timing videos. Interactive radar is really neat, and it makes it real easy to send in storm photos. Another way to receive these watches and warnings is Weather Call Next Gen. and we're partners with this service, and it makes it really easy to know if you're in the path of the storm because you will only be notified if you're within the storm polygon. So weather radios will notify the whole county. Um, this app, or it's not even an app, it's a service. It will only tell you when you're in the warning. Hyperlocal alerts, calls, texts, emails. You will get a call with tornado warnings and immediate alerts for upgrades in those warnings. So radar indicated to observed. Another phone call for will be issued, and also extreme storm alerts. So notifications when the severe storm, when the winds get above hurricane force winds, so 70 miles per hour, or above or at or above golf ball size hail. You also get another phone call. Anything less than that, you'll get a text message if you choose to. It's really good service. Also, calls to landline phones. If you are in a rural area, poor cell service, you will get a landline call too. Hmm. Doesn't let you scan. Which one was the one? Was it the weather call next gen, or was it the uh weather authority team app? And I don't even know how it works. So, like, if you're watching this stream on the phone and you're able to scan it, can you click on it? I'm not even sure. Um, yes, yes. So this is a paid service. It's $12 to $15 a year. So pretty much $1 a month. And $12. I think it's $15 with lightning data, and then $12 base. So really, just a drop in the bucket, and it can be a lifesaver. The first app, okay. Um, well, I can just tell you where to go. Just go to the App Store, or I don't know, for Android. I don't know what it is, Google Play or something. Is that what it is? You will type in your weather authority and make sure it's NWA, because there's a lot of your weather authorities across the country. So just make sure it's the your weather authority. Make sure it's the your weather authority for Northwest Arkansas. Yeah, yeah, Becky, good tip right there. Yeah, so those are the ways to receive the updates. We have a live blog out on the knwa.com website or nwahomepage.com, and yeah, lots of ways to be in the know, which makes it really great. Let's check back in on our Dripping Springs camera standby. Lightning might be going down a little bit, but yeah, and maybe the rain rates are going down a little bit. Yeah, any questions, feel free to ask. Husband got called into work in Bentonville. Bentonville, I mean, heavy rain, but not too concerned about severe storm potential. Flood threat is going up. Let me get that camera off the screen just to show you what we're looking at here. It's quiet right now, but if you look off to the west, not so much. If you have a good view, if you're in the Fort Smith area, look to the southwest. But you probably want to be inside at this point though, because yeah, when thunder roars, go indoors. I've learned that the hard way. Had some close calls, but we can see the Fort Smith area is about to start raining, and that rain is pretty heavy. A little bit of lightning, nothing severe, but those green polygons, those are flash flood warnings, and even that blue one down there, that's for observed flash flood, for observed flash flooding. but we're not seeing severe storms, and I think let me see. Let me just go back in time a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to have to pay close attention for the overnight hours. Logan County, sure thing. Yeah, we've got Boonville. Stand by. Let me move that west. Stand by for that. Just go over here. Move that one to the west. See if we can see any lightning. Sure, that football field is nice and green with all the rain that we've been seeing. Fayetteville, some rain. Not crazy concerned about severe storm potential, but the flood threat is going up. Yeah, not much from this angle. Storms are still pretty far away, but heavy rain moving in tonight. That is the big deal, and we've been doing this for about a half hour. I don't really see anything imminent happening in the next hour or so, but Josh Rugger will be in here later on tonight. And we will have to keep you updated. Hopefully tomorrow's nice. The weekend wasn't a big washout. I mean, there was some breaks in the action. We had a little bit of Saturday, a good chunk of the day in Northwest Arkansas was pretty nice actually. And then today it was a little bit cloudy, briefly sunny. Tomorrow, I do think the clouds will be a bit more numerous as the main low moves through. Um, but let me show you. See right here. As that main low comes in, I think cloud cover tomorrow will be pretty numerous. Here's day one. Pretty soon this will be upgraded. Pretty soon this will be upgraded. But yeah. Good morning, everybody. It is midnight. It is midnight. No. No wind really, I mean, not that I'm seeing. I mean, I don't really think severe storm threat is that big of a deal for the Fayetteville area tonight. River Valley, slightly better chances. We do not want the winds because the ground is saturated. It makes it real easy for the bigger trees to fall down because the soil is not as tight around the roots, and the winds will be able to knock down. We'll be able to knock down the trees. Oh no, dog doesn't like the storms. Well, hopefully there's not too much lightning. Yeah, would not be a good deal. But we'll keep you updated. Here's 7-day. Thursday might see a few storms, not crazy concern. June 1st, believe it or not, this upcoming Sunday, temperatures back in the mid 80s. So it's warming up. But until then, I think I'm gonna hang up. Josh Rugger will be in here tomorrow morning, and yeah, we'll keep you updated. Have a happy Memorial Day, and stay safe. And we appreciate everybody watching.